Most people picture fire sprinklers the way movies show them. A small flame appears, an alarm goes off, and suddenly every sprinkler in the entire building activates at once and floods everything. But that's not how fire sprinklers work in the real world. And today I'm going to explain why only one sprinkler usually activates, and why that design is actually what saves buildings and lives. Fire sprinklers are heat-activated devices, not smoke detectors. On the front of each sprinkler head there's a tiny glass bulb, and inside that bulb is a colored liquid that expands as it heats up. Every bulb is rated to burst at a specific temperature, usually around 68 degrees in offices, higher in hot areas like kitchens, and even higher again in industrial spaces. The sprinkler doesn't know a fire is happening until the heat directly below it becomes intense enough to burst that bulb. When that happens, the glass shatters and water is released from that single head only. No heat on the bulb means no activation. It's that simple. And this is where the biggest misconception comes in. Sprinklers don't all activate together because fire doesn't heat an entire building evenly. A fire produces its highest temperatures directly at the ceiling above it. That means only the sprinklers in that small zone heat up enough to operate. Everywhere else in the building stays too cool for activation. In a normal office or apartment, you'd typically expect only about 6 sprinklers to operate during a real fire. In areas with higher fire loads, like warehouses or manufacturing spaces, you might see 12 sprinklers or a cluster of heads activate together. But even then, it's limited to the area immediately around the fire, never the whole building. This localized activation is exactly how the Australian sprinkler standard AS2 118.1 is designed. The pumps, water tank, and pipework are all sized specifically to supply enough pressure and flow to that number of operating sprinklers, not every sprinkler in the building. Designing for the whole building to go off at once would require impossible pump sizes, unrealistic water supplies, and it would actually make the system perform worse where it matters most. And this design isn't just more practical, it makes sprinkler systems safer. If every sprinkler went off simultaneously, you'd dump thousands and thousands of litres of water across the entire building. Drains would be overwhelmed, water damage would be catastrophic, and most importantly, the pressure at the sprinkler above the actual fire would drop dramatically. The system would be trying to feed every head at once, instead of focusing its force on the area that needs it. By activating only where the fire is burning, sprinklers attack the fire fast, early, and with maximum impact, while the rest of the building stays untouched and operational. So the next time someone asks, "Won't every sprinkler go off if there's a fire?" you can tell them no. Only the sprinklers directly above the fire will activate, and they do it by design. It's targeted, controlled, efficient, and one of the most reliable fire protection systems ever created. If you want more fire protection engineering explained in simple, clear videos, hit subscribe. There's a lot more coming.